Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Tuesday, July 16th, 2019. As you seen last night on Monday Night Raw, Bray Wyatt finally made his return to the ring with a surprise attack on Finn Balor. Yowie wowie! After so many months of waiting, he is officially back. We have officially let him in, and man oh man was the wait worth it. This was so awesome to see. The crowd really loved it. I loved all the visuals and Finn Balor's music going down, and just everything was just so great about this. Can you imagine the Fiend taking on the Demon? Oh, yowie wowie! Staying on the topic of Finn Balor being attacked by Bray Wyatt last night, ProWrestlingSheet.com is reporting that Finn Balor will be taking time off from WWE starting next month. Balor, who dropped the Intercontinental Championship to Shinsuke Nakamura at Extreme Rules, reportedly asked for 2 months off to recharge, and the request was granted by WWE. So it looks like we'll probably get that Bray Wyatt-Finn Balor match at Survivor Series, maybe. Regarding the injuries suffered at AEW Fight for the Fallen, MJF's elbow injury is not serious, and he's expected to return to action this weekend. Unfortunately for Britt Baker, F4WOnline.com is reporting that her concussion is said to be significant, and she could miss some time as a result. Also, as you seen last night on Monday Night Raw, R-Truth regained the 24/7 title. R-Truth pinned Drake Maverick in Maverick's hotel room right before Maverick was going to consummate his marriage. I really loved that segment. I thought it was super funny, reminded me of the old days of the hardcore title. Great job, WWE. The WWE announced the following today. After he and Rowan lost the Smackdown Tag Team Championships at Extreme Rules, Daniel Bryan was in a state of shock, to say the least. During a post-match interview with Sarah Schreiber, a frenzied Bryan grieved over the end of his dreams of elevating the tag team division. But it wasn't long before he realized what his next step needed to be. With a wild glare in his eyes, an eerily calm Bryan whispered that he knows exactly what he needs to do to save the planet: aim higher. In the aftermath of the interview, WWE.com has learned that Bryan plans on making a career-altering announcement tonight on SmackDown Live. Bryan has promised that this will change the course of his career and shake SmackDown Live to its core. Just what exactly does Bryan have planned? Alexa Bliss addressed the awful chance that she was getting during her match on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, and also retweeted a fan that expressed frustrations with the crowd. It all started when King Mystic tweeted, "They asked for the women to be taken seriously, and then they begin to chant that. Disappointing from the crowd." Alexa Bliss responded back by saying, "Just disrespectful." Master Bear Jedi then tweeted, "Booing is fine. Telling a character they suck is fine. But outright crapping on the workers as they're out there busting their butts? Unnecessary. That chant was personal and directed at the effort of the talent as if they weren't giving it all that they had." Alexa Bliss responded back by saying, "Yes, we encourage reactions, cheering and booing and chants. We don't encourage people to be rude." At this time, The Rock is not expected to be a part of next week's Raw reunion. While he'd be able to promote Hobbs and Shaw, The Rock's schedule is believed to be full right now. There is still talk about The Rock being part of SmackDown's debut on Fox, however. Former WCW World Champion David Arquette will be teaming with Bryan Anthony to go against current new tag team champions Keith Youngblood and Jerry the King Lawler. In an interview with SportsIllustrated.com, Arquette discussed the match, which takes place on Friday, August 16th in Poughkeepsie, New York. Arquette said, "My body isn't holding up. My neck keeps going out. My back keeps going out. I love wrestling and I love meeting the fans, and you can't half-time anything in wrestling. If you're not all in on training, you won't be ready to take those bumps. But Lawler is one of those people who thinks I was a disgrace to wrestling. I'm not the kid who won the belt 19 years ago. I've trained, I've put in the time, I've paid my dues. I've got something to prove against Jerry Lawler." Coming off last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, it appears The Miz will be getting a renewed push. Here is what Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com noted about the situation. Meltzer said, "He was supposed to be one of the main guys, like main babyfaces on Raw right near the top, and then they just kept using them to get other people over, and then all of a sudden, he's not over at that level. So now they're trying to, whatever it is, erase it or just get him going, and they need to do it by saying, okay, yeah, he wasn't serious enough. Now we've got a new guy, and now he's serious, so this is a step one on that." Thanks to RingsideNews.com for the quote. Sportskeeda.com has published a production sheet that apparently leaked from last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. Here is what was noted about the producers. Chris Parks, aka Abyss, produced the Viking Raiders match. Shane Helms produced the Club versus the Lucha House Party. Tyson Kidd and Michael Hayes produced the All-Star Battle Royal. Dave Finley produced a women's match. And Jason Jordan produced a 2 out of 3 falls 6-man tag team match. Mickie James's husband Nick Aldis noted on Twitter that she had successful knee surgery today. Nick Aldis tweeted on Twitter, "Update, surgery was a complete success. I'm sure when she's feeling up to it, she'll share more. Thank you all." Hey, that's really awesome to hear about Mickie James. I can't wait to see her back in the ring. Becky Lynch issued a response to comments by Vince Russo regarding the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. It all started when Russo tweeted, "Just have to say this. If Becky Lynch would have screwed Seth Rollins last night, we would have been off to the races. At this point, you have to go outside the box." Becky Lynch replied back to Vince Russo by simply saying, "I did." Twitter account at WWE Stats noted the following about Randy Orton's match from last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. WWE Stats tweeted, "This is Randy Orton's first match on Raw since October of 2015. In July of 2004, exactly 15 years ago, oh man, I'm old, Orton won a 20-man battle royal on Raw to become the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Tonight he enters another battle royal, trying to be the top contender yet again." Very interesting stuff. And finally, here on Jammin' John's Wrestling News, it is now time for the latest special subscriber poll. That poll being, do you think Bray Wyatt will be treated right on television? Yes, no, or unsure? Of course, if you're a subscriber, you can go to patreon.com/JamminJohn to vote. If you're not a subscriber, what are you doing with your life? Go to patreon.com/JamminJohn to support me financially. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7, and I quickly like to go over those packages real quick with you. Our first package is the Mark package, which is $3. You get access to Patreon-only polls with the results being announced on JJWN as the special subscriber poll, and you get a shout-out for donating at the end of every daily update. Our next package, the $5 package, the Smart package, you not only get access to Patreon-only polls and the shout-out, but you get the ability to ask me any pro wrestling question for answering on JJWN. And then finally, we have the $7 package, the Jobber package, that gets you access to the polls, the shout-out, the ability to ask me any pro wrestling question, and the latest episode of JJWN will be uploaded along with a download link so that you can listen at any time. You can go to patreon.com/JamminJohn to subscribe to me if you're interested, and I would greatly appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. That is your news for Tuesday, July 16th, 2019. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin' John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, and Player FM. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin' John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin' John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, want to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/JamminJohn. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7, like I said a couple of moments ago. And I would really appreciate it once again if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, the link to that Patreon is patreon.com/JamminJohn. This is Jammin' John saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.